This is a fan-generated show. If you would like to support us, please go to jamieglazov.com, and also don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. All your support is greatly appreciated.
Good evening. Welcome to the Glazov Gang. I apologize ahead of time. This is usually a family program, but the title of our episode this evening is, quote, "I ain't never been a mother effing slave." I apologize, but it will become clear in a moment. We are focusing in on the Democrats in panic mode as their plantation for American blacks is hemorrhaging. The focus of our show this evening is Henry Davis's new video on YouTube that has gone viral, and it's titled "Damn Right, Kanye West, hashtag Go Trump or Cry." And within that video that we're going to show a clip of in a minute, he said some things, which is the topic also in the title of this program. We are here with two heroes, two American heroes. What an honor to have them here. Jermain Botsio, the founder of Conservative Nation, and Will Johnson, the founder and president of UniteAmericaFirst.com. Jermain and Will, what an honor to have you here.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Thank you. And I brought you on because there's really a lot happening right now with, Candace Owens and Kanye West coming out. Democrats are panicking. Freedom fighters like you, members of the black community coming out to support Trump. There's a lot happening right now. And here comes Henry Davis that's making this video now, that made this video. Before we show the video, why don't you two gentlemen briefly introduce this video to our viewers? Will, what would you say?
He's absolutely right. I don't use the word enhancers, but he's 100% spot on what he's saying. The black community, and I'm pretty sure Jermain would agree, the black community are sick and tired of the Democrats running us or trying to control us, think they own us, and they see it. That's why they're trying to bring in illegals the way they are, because black people have had it up to here with it. We're done with the Democratic Party. I saw this meme that says, Kanye, they showed a donkey with a shotgun and a hood chasing Kanye West, talking about we got a runaway slave. Mm. Anytime a black person think for themselves, they've ran away from the Democratic KKK plantation, and the Democrats, the left, they don't like it. They hate it.
Thank you, Will. Jermain?
Yes. The video shows to me the ideological civil war in the black community that is happening right now. Just like Candace Owens said in one of her viral videos, we got the victim and we got the victor. And Henry Davis, he has the mentality of a victor. So when you guys see this video with the word enhancement, as Will Johnson put, very nicely put, you'll understand the message. It's straight to the point. Black people in America are tired of this victimhood mentality. They want to prosper. They want to have the American dream, and they tired of being seen as victims. So it's an absolutely fantastic video.
All right, thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, if there's any kids in the room, children in the room, we're just saying there's some explicit language here. Viewer discretion is advised. And if there's any Democrats or leftists in the living room watching this and they have very high blood pressure or a heart condition or something, might be a good idea for them to leave the room as well. Let's show the video clip.
World. Hello everyone. My name is Henry Davis. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. As you can see, I'm a black Donald Trump supporter. And I just want to give my remarks about Kanye West, his new song, rather more of a conversation with it sounds like T.I. First of all, fuck him, Kanye. You damn right, Kanye. Make America godly again. Make America great again. You said the right damn thing. It's about time some motherfucking black people start standing up, some rich black people start standing up and start talking about what the fuck is going on with all us other black people stuck on this goddamn plantation. And then T.I. said something to the effect of, it sounds like Donald Trump wrote you. If you just listen to the way he talk, he sounds stupid as a motherfucker. Fuck him. And Kanye said the right thing when he said, oh, what I'm supposed to talk about, crack? What I'm supposed to talk about, fucking your bitch? What I'm supposed to talking about, killing each other because it's cultural? Damn right. Don't nobody want to hear that shit. Every time somebody turn on the radio, that's why I don't even listen to black rap no more. Every time you turn on the goddamn radio, motherfucker talking about either twerking they fucking booty, getting high, or killing each other. And then T.I. gonna have well, this what really pissed me off when he talk about Donald Trump represent white supremacy and genocide. We supposed to forget about all of that. Man, if you don't sit your stupid ass down, genocide is every time you turn on your goddamn TV and you see a young black man or a young black woman dead in the motherfucking street at the hands of another black person. You damn right, Kanye. Damn right, Kanye. Damn right, Kanye. I'm with you, brother. And just for that, I'm finna put you in my new book called The Coon. Now, I ain't got shit to lose. Talking about, aren't you, what T.I. say some shit about, what you gon', the risk you gonna lose or some shit like that. Man, shut the fuck up. Us grown-ass black people tired of this shit, this woe-ass me, before age slavery shit. I ain't never been a motherfucking slave. I don't know no goddamn slave. I ain't never picked no goddamn cotton. But I know one thing, I'm out here in these motherfucking streets trying to make it at the hands of these old puss-ass, punk-ass Democrats. Damn right, Kanye. Go Trump or cry. Fuck them.
Okay, well, I think that Henry Davis's one fault is definitely not running around the bush or beating around the bush and not saying what he really thinks. So, Will, let me start with you. When a black man says, I ain't never been a mother effing slave. And look, we all know nobody's trying to erase the past. I think that history in the past is very important. There's a lot of pain in slavery, in discrimination. We know that slavery also has a legacy. We know that racism still exists to this day and discrimination exists to this day. The issue is what we do about it. And I think it's fair to say for a black American not to deny that racism doesn't exist, that there's not a painful past, but in terms of individual responsibility and individual accountability of how to handle the world today. And the fact that literally, the fact is that unless somebody is very, very old that I do not know about, no black Americans today were slaves unless they've escaped Sudan or Mauritania. Will, what's your thoughts on this?
The only black people that are slaves today are the ones who are enslaving themselves. We have black people that constantly put on these virtual chains on their hands and feet. And then when someone come along like Jermain and myself and Jamal and Jay, the 4 J's come along and we say, look, you can take those shackles off your hands and feet because there's no locks. The problem that we have in the black community today, they will get angry with you if you say there's no locks on the chains that you have on. They want to be in bondage. They want to still remain as slaves. They truly feel that the Democratic Party is going to help them because it's like the slave master. The slave master went from, you know, a white man on a horse with a whip to Democrats politicians with a whip. And then and the only reason why I say a whip, because once you start speaking and start thinking for yourself, then they whip out that virtual whip. They try to cut you down. They try to break you down. They don't like it. They hate it. A simple thing what Kanye West said to Candace about her, I love the way she thinks. What's wrong with that? See, that is the problem, the thinking of the black community. That is the problem. We've got to get past this whole I'm on a slave ship mentality. It's this whole slave ship victimhood. We've got to get off of that. And the more and more people wake up to it, the more and more successful black people will be.
Thank you, Will. Jermain?
Yes, he's absolutely correct. Black people in this country have enslaved themselves, and they've enslaved themselves through a limited belief structure. And it's taught through this victimology. They reminisce about things they've never experienced, they've never felt. And it is so shocking. Right now, Black Americans need to wake up and see what is going on. Me, Will, Jay McCaney, Jamal, we are talking about the future of Black Americans in this country and the future of this country. And Black Americans right now, they are stuck in the past. So there's a big ideological civil war, and the ones that have the chains on, they don't want to let it go. And
exactly
like me and Will, we are trying to free those folks.
Okay, thank you, Jermain. And so Henry Davis, powerful video, powerful message. By the way, he's on Twitter, ladies and gentlemen. It's at Henry Ha Ha Davis. Follow Henry Davis on Twitter. Powerful voice. Gentlemen, Will and Jermain, he hit on very important themes. And one of the things he's hitting on is, it doesn't sound like he's in his bed shivering at night with terror about Trump and Trump supporters. Henry Davis is also talking about Democrats, but also he alluded to black on black violence. And so I just want to ask you gentlemen this. So, we know what's going on in Chicago. And yeah, when a white cop, let's say, shoots or kills an unarmed black man, let's say unfairly, that's one too many. We got that. We're all opposed to these things. But the statistics ultimately are not adding up, right, in terms of this issue, in terms of what Black Lives Matter is saying. But we know in terms of statistics that a huge, far larger number of blacks that are being killed in this country is by other blacks. This is not being addressed by the Democrats or the left. We'll go ahead on this issue.
Well, the Democrats have put in this policy in Chicago to where today black people are killing black people as if it's genocide. They're killing black people at an alarming rate. And if you notice, this is the same policy the Democrats want to move to the rest of the country. They do not have a problem with black people killing each other. But soon as someone white comes along and kills a black person, then all of a sudden it's a problem because they want to try to divide us. They want this race war. I give you one quick example. Just here recently, I think it was in a Waffle House. There was a black male there. He was being disruptive, rude. They called the police. The police showed up, and to my understanding, the police officer had to choke the man to restrain him. And now you have the black community screaming, crying, because saying that the police officer didn't have to choke him. Well, if the police officer showed up and this black man would have just had respect for himself and said, yes or no, sir, I apologize. Even if he wasn't in the wrong, just say, you know what, I'm going to move along. None of that would have to happen. But you have black people like Chicago killing each other at an alarming rate, and no one thinks other about it. Nothing about it. It's perfectly okay in the black community and according to the liberal left. It's not an issue. It's only an issue when someone white comes along.
Jermain?
He's exactly right. The only reason why they only care about when a white person kills a black person is because they're trying to push this race war, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it's very simple. And the blacks that are being shot, we have to be honest, a lot of them are nefarious. I mean, a lot of them have criminal past, and they push this. A lot of the blacks, they're being used for destruction. And this is what I've been saying. They've been running with a narrative that is not true, and the black Americans have been falling for this victimology, how bad blackie, and he cannot do any better. And it's such a shame. So it's a race war, basically, is what they're trying to push.
And let me just say this real quick. If you'd ever notice that when a black person commits a crime and then the police officer takes the black person out, they glorify the black person. I mean, it's just happened here in San Diego, not San Diego, but Sacramento. There was a black male there. He was going around breaking into vehicles. Someone called the cops, and there was probably somebody black who called the cops. And then he started to run from the police officers. Then he started charging at the police officers aggressively, and they shot him and killed him. And come to find out, he had a cell phone in his hand. But now all of a sudden, they want to glorify him.
Right, right. Will and Jermain, when we step back and look at all of this, one can't help from seeing that perhaps so much of this has actually been designed. When you look at the democratic policies, let's say in terms of the Great Society, quote unquote, with Lyndon Johnson, and then, you know, everything afterwards, the welfare policy, welfare. Here we go. We're going to be daddy. We're going to push the black man out of the family because we're going to be your daddy. It doesn't matter if there's a father in the home, and it's okay if you have 7, 8 different fathers with 7, 8 different children. We're still going to give you money. There's no individual accountability. So the father's pushed out of the home with this welfare state. And then we know what happens with fatherless homes. We know in terms of also even the anger and frustration that many children grow up with in these homes. And then with that resentment and in that anger, somewhere the white man becomes responsible somehow. And then the Democratic Party says it's going to save you. Do you think it would be legitimate to say that somewhere it's actually the Democrats that are the racist haters that have actually designed all of this to hurt black people and enslave them? Maybe this is just a given, but I see something very, very sinister here that's actually been designed by the left.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, that's the reason why I'm wearing this shirt, Vote Them Out, because the Democrats have been killing black people especially since Margaret Sanger. Margaret Sanger came out and she's killing, you know, the black baby, the unborn child at an alarming rate. It's at least, to my understanding, 3,000 babies a day. That's insane. And majority of them are black. And they remove the father from the community, from the black family, that's the quickest way to destroy the family. Because these kids, they don't grow up, they don't have discipline, they don't respect the elders, they don't respect police officers, they don't respect authority. So they become hoodlums and thugs, and then they're out on the streets, and then as soon as one of them gets shot, because of their attitudes and their actions for everything, then people start rioting, talking about you don't have to kill them, they're oppressed.
Right.
When it's all done by the Democrats.
Yeah, he's exactly right. According to the Washington Examiner, 77% of black babies are being born out of wedlock. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. The children grow up with no direction in the home, no discipline. All right. The daddy is the government. The gangbangers are the influence. Criminals are their influence. They grow up with this. They're just demoralized at the end of the day, and that's what they want. You can't control a moral people. You have to demoralize them. So to demoralize them, you take the father out of the home and you bring in the government and you bring in the whole welfare trap. And that's what's going on, and it's a terrible thing. So to me, it's a design, and the only people you can blame are the white liberals for it. And the white liberals understand that they're going to be the saviors of the black people. All right. So they are willing to shed off other white folks, and the other white folks are going to be the white conservatives. If you're white, you have to choose a side. And this is what I believe the Democratic playbook is. They're going to be the black people's savior, and they're willing to allow basically a sacrifice, and the sacrifice is the other whites. Hey, if you don't come along with us, we're going to say that you guys are bad, and that is what is going on.
Right. Gentlemen, we just got a little bit of time left. Please, very briefly, I just want to touch on this here. Some of the monstrosity of the left comes out here when the white leftists tell you black conservatives that you're not really black. Very briefly, Will, tell us about the white leftists that call other people racists, but tell you that you have to think a certain way because you're black, and if you don't, you're not black.
You know, I've had the white liberals tell me that I don't know what it's like to be black, whatever that means. I mean, it's insanity. Now, to be honest with you, that's kind of a true statement. Because I know what it's like to be Will Johnson.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like to be, you know, the purple dinosaur color. I don't know what it's like to be a color, but I know what it's like to be Will Johnson. I know Will Johnson experiences, but I've had white liberals tell me that I don't know what it's like to be black, which is insanity.
Wow. Jermain?
Yeah, you know, I had the same experience. I noticed that these white liberals, they try to put you in a box, you know, so that they can somehow gauge their expectation of you. And if I don't fit that mold, they get upset. Hey, you're supposed to tap dance and supposed to rap and eat chicken and love watermelon. You get what I'm saying? I don't fit that mold. So white liberals to me are the most racist folks around because they have a stereotypical nature of what they think people should be, and it's quite terrible.
Right. Thank you, gentlemen, so much for coming on. Our time is up. We've got so many people right now, I'm sure, on the edge of their seat saying, oh, man, we want to follow and support these two gentlemen. Will, where do they find you to support you?
The best way to find me and support me is go to uniteamericafirst.com. Every social media platform that I'm on is listed there.
Jermain?
You can find me at www.jbtalkradio.com or Facebook.
Fantastic. One sentence each before we go. Candace Owens says this on Twitter all the time, and I love it. She'll retweet something or write something like this Henry Davis video, and she'll say, hey, Democrats, tick-tock, tick-tock. Will and Jermain, is it tick-tock time for the Democrats, briefly?
It is TikTok. They are about to go out the door, in my opinion. If we don't vote them out 2018, we all lose.
Jermain?
It's TikTok for sure. The Democrats are going down, and please believe me, Will Johnson, and Jamie, we are bringing people into the fold. So absolutely.
Will Johnson, Jermain Botsio, perhaps the most important question, is the Glazov Gang one of the best shows out there right now?
Of course.
Absolutely. Come on now.
All right. It was just an objective question. Gentlemen, thanks a lot for coming on the program. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you for having us.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for joining the Glazov Gang tonight. We'll see you soon. Good night.